When entering the mouth of the Douro River, the first bridge one encounters is the bridge that was constructed and designed by Gustav Eiffel in 1877. Porto and Vila Nova de Gaia are connected with 6 iconic bridges. As we pass under the Gustav Eiffel's famous erection that has now been decommissioned, on our starboard side is Gaia, and on the port side is Porto. They are joined at the hip. Vila Nova de Gaia is replete with wine tasting rooms and wine cellars and small restaurants. It's a wonderful place to spend a day or 2 or 3, depends on what floats your boat, as they say. The waterfront in Porto is filled with small restaurants, cafes, small shops, and one of the best ways to get around is on the streetcar, or as they say, the electric tram. At one of the stops, you can visit the tram museum, which is right there. It's the electric company, of course, but it's very interesting and very convenient and easy. At the mouth of the Douro River, you'll enter the Atlantic Ocean, and just a few miles south of Porto are some of the highest waves in the world. They have waves up to 100 feet high. Here's an old fort that has kept Porto safe for almost 100 years. Here is a converted prison that is now the National Museum of Photography. And just down the street is Clarigos Tower. It's a Catholic church. The tower measures 75 meters and is the tallest structure in Porto. One of the great delicacies they offer are codfish balls. Codfish is called bacalhau in Portugal. One of the great attractions is Livraria Yellow. This is the bookstore that J.K. Rowling was inspired because of the marvelous staircase. People line up for blocks to pay €5 just to walk in the bookstore. The monastery in Gaia that overlooks Porto is Sierra del Pilar. It's the wonderful watching place for sunsets over Porto. And we're always being watched. This little cog railroad takes you down to the Riverwalk in Porto and saves you about 1,000 steps and a broken ankle. It's well worth the expense, and it's not that much. Pretty cheap, it's like €5. Upriver is wine country, and this is where some of the greatest port wines are made. Actually, they're the only port wines because nobody else can make them except in Porto. And you have wineries advertising their goods all along the river. Some of them have gotten very creative and made these vacation destination places where not only can you stay in a 5-star resort at the winery, but you can also get up in the morning and jump on the grapes and do that for about 2 hours, and then you end up with blue legs, which takes only about 6 weeks for the color to go away. Here's one of the good ones, and it's a well-known place and very exquisite. For those who'd rather take the rails instead of float on a boat, you can also take the train right along the river. A very scenic ride, and when you get to some of these destinations, you'll see iconic train stations that have tiles that tell the whole story of their history, their wine growing history, and trying to get the wine down the river before they had locks. We'll drink to that, but we'll save the wine for later. Well, how about a little Spanish beer as an interlude? Prost. The blue tiles are everywhere, as in these iconic churches. They keep the place cool in the summertime, and they keep the heat in the wintertime. They're good looking and quite useful. The whole family will enjoy Porto. Of course, there's one last stop that we couldn't resist. It speaks for itself. As we leave Porto, we had a great experience, and we can't wait to get back. There's something good waiting for us.